Hey, Max here, and I got a hot topic to talk to you Star Wars fans about in this episode. And it is about Star Wars toys. They really are dead. Because we now have more proof. And this is also a combining episode about Battlefront 2, EA's Battlefront 2, and what they did to consumers and why they got what they deserve. Consumers are smarter than ever before. But first, I want to give the disclaimer. Warning! This video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and a Mad Max. And I am mad because not only do we have to deal with this stuff from Disney, but greedy corporations all across the board. Hasbro, along with all the other toy companies, and EA, video game company. What they try to push off on the consumers make Disney junk. But I found an article that was just released today, and again, it's major news outlets reporting on this, the big decline. It also has something to do with Kathleen Kennedy coming out of the woodworks, giving a comment about the new series of Star Wars films, because fourth quarter earnings were reported for a lot of these companies, and they have to answer to their stockholders. So they're going to try to put their best foot forward and make things seem better than they are. But they're not good, and here's the proof. Okay, CNBC article written by Sarah Whitten. The force was not with Hasbro during the holidays. The toy maker said Wednesday that sales of Star Wars and Frozen toys lagged during the fourth quarter. Okay, and now I'm going to skip over to some of this article and get to the good stuff. Now, Hasbro's partner brand segments, which include Star Wars, Frozen, and Marvel merchandise, slumped 21% in the fourth quarter. Now, here's in comparison with Hasbro's other toys they produced, and they did not do as bad as the partner brands. Franchise brands up 11%, so that actually was better for them. Hasbro Gaming down 4%. Emerging brands down 5%. And this is where we get the Star Wars and the McDisney brands. And this whole Star Wars situation is damaging the Disney brand altogether. And the more they get their hands on, their greedy mouse hands, it's going to get even worse. The quality is declining. The greed is real. I really hope I know it's probably not going to, it's still going to happen, but I wish Disney would not get their hands on Fox. And now Sony's selling because no one wants to compete with this big, greedy corporation. It's too hard. But let's get on to franchise brands, down 21%. And now let's get on to the topic. Greedy toy and video game companies and why we are in this situation. This is my opinion on how we got here. I've been following the toy and video game industries for years. So besides the horrible way the movie franchise has been killing the brand, toy and video game companies have been doing their part, destroying the brands too. You see, the executives that make millions do not care about what the consumer wants, about fan service. They want profits up, so they could get their year-end bonuses and make their numbers look better. So when they realized both in video games and toys that their growth with new customers was too slow, at least too slow to make their stockholders happy, and so they can meet their year-end quotas, they found a new way to make profit. Nickel and dime your existing customers because you're not getting new ones. So that's a great way to treat your customers. You have a fan base and you're not growing it because you got to do some good stuff to grow your fan base. But you can't do it. You go the easy way out and nickel or dime your existing customer. Profit margins for quality products are more difficult to come by and slower. It's much easier to make profits by pushing a cheap and unfinished product onto consumers to make more money. Video games are not finished when they were released them. Example, EA and Battlefront 2. And toys are severely lacking articulation, paint details, and cheap plastic. And the video game companies nickel and dime their customers with DLC locked behind a paywall that's already on the disc, season passes after consumers complain to Disney they had EA change this, but the damage was done. And who is Disney kidding? They are just like EA. It's just Disney is bigger, so they can push them around. Now with the toy companies, and believe me, they know how to make quality products. It's just profit margins are small. So they would much rather push junk out onto the market. And this is also why Toys R Us and other retail stores are going bankrupt. This junk is sitting everywhere. They underestimate consumers and thought that people would still buy this junk. Just like Disney underestimates the fans and think they can pander to new audiences while forgetting the olds and treating them like nerds, that they're still going to line up for day one no matter what. Guess what? Those days are gone. No more, Star Wars fans. And oh boy, did it backfire in both scenarios. Now stores can't afford and do not have confidence ordering new products because people will not buy this junk even at bargain bin prices, and it's clogging up retail stores. I don't think toy stores like Toys R Us are even going to recover from the steep decline in quality of product over the last few years. And talk about Battlefront 2. You're not buying the game, you're buying a package, because the game's not finished. You got to download everything, and you're hooked for constantly contributing and finishing the game with all this DLC and season pass junk. So that's my thoughts on how we got in this situation. I created this image because I thought it would be fun. This is a worker recovering some ET cartridges in a landfill. And I really believe this is what's going to happen to Last Jedi toys in the future, because there's a lot out there. And I also wanted to give you viewers the shout out for this video. There's quite a few of you that asked for this topic, but Janet J777, I want a hot topic about Star Wars games. There's also mess with microtransactions. Yes, microtransactions are horrible. I'm a huge gamer. I have a nice collection of classic games, and I'm not a fan anymore because of this kind of junk. I like to buy a finished product, and I don't mind DLC if it's additional and past release and it's not on the disc and it adds to the game, and the game you get at retail feels like a finished product. But that's not what's happening here, and that's not what happened with Battlefront 2. And then Jay Von Hogan, thank you again for your comments. I really appreciate all of you joining in the conversation. And here is where I would say, you don't have to follow me anywhere. All I want from you is to join in the conversation and join me on the next hot topic. And if you have an idea for a hot topic you'd like me to cover, please comment below. Have a great one, guys.